Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy, the Problem Child, here to do a video. Now, what I'm gonna do a video on is the man they call John Cena. You know, the champ is here guy. The what you call it? Everybody knows who he is. I'm just gonna do a video on him. A lot of people shits on this guy and stuff, so I'm just gonna give my opinion on him, and you can take it or leave it. All right, let's talk John Cena. Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was a fan of the guy back when he first came out with B Square. I thought the gimmick was okay. I thought he was pretty lame with the white boy gimmick and stuff like that. Also, his ruthless aggression days. I thought, maybe you see something in the future for this guy. And I really did. I was a fan of him doing the ruthless aggression. I was a fan of him doing the what you call it days. So, doing the Word Life days. And then we get to the Champ is Here days. And for me, it just seems like John Cena, it's the same repetitive shit from him every fucking week. Every time you see him on TV. It's just like, it seemed like the worst thing that ever happened to John Cena was going to Raw. In my opinion, it seemed like that's when he started going downhill, is when he was finally on the Raw show instead of staying on SmackDown. And it kind of made his character, it just seems like it just went from good to just being like, mediocre. And then we get down to the bad days. For me, with John Cena, I used to like the guy. I mean, when he was feuding with Edge, I was with him at the beginning of the feud. And then, started later, I start going, well, with Edge, because it just seems like John Cena was just becoming this repetitive thing. And then now he's this Boy Scout and doing things that it just seems like it is just so boring. Like, oh, I'm part of the fans, and the fans have the right to boo me, and this is for the troops and all this other stuff. And I want you guys to think about it right now. They want John Cena to be the face of the company, which is a U.S. company, right? We all know it's established in the USA. But then you got it shown in India and so many other countries. And let's be honest, a lot of countries also bootleg wrestling on their television. It is what it is. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Okay, you got him cheering on troops, being the face of your company. And a lot of countries do not agree with what was happening in the war. And for him to be this Boy Scout, this Captain America type character, it just seemed like it made it even more stale and more boring and more just, ugh. Like, this is so annoying to see this guy. I mean, they booked him like he was Superman. And the thing about it is that what frustrates us as fans is that when they booked him like to be this Superman type character against the Nexus, a group that was exciting. A lot of us was excited to see this group, to see young rookies who nobody knew to be these mega superstars, you know. And the thing about it is that we was these mega superstars, and people was people was loving it, was loving the Nexus gimmick. They probably had their favorites in Nexus, and just like they didn't have their favorites in Nexus. But then my dislike for John Cena grew even more was when he sit up there and took a DDT on concrete floor and then systematically goes in the ring and buries three guys in a row back to back to back. Maybe it was two, but he systematically buries them and just hops up out of nowhere, even though his head got busted on concrete floor. And it's just with John Cena, it just seems like he is the corporate guy. It's like we love to boo this guy because we want that anti-establishment type of guy back. People say that they was booing Roddy Piper, but there was a lot of people out there that was cheering Roddy Piper. And to say that John Cena appeals to the PG era and whatever, you can be PG and still be having a cool badass or a cool guy or a cool face that can get over with the fans and the fans enjoy them. Example, you got Roddy Piper that was saying stuff in 1980s during the PG when families was taking their kids to it, and grandparents was taking their grandchildren to it. You know, Roddy Piper was a heel, but he still did things in a PG way. He really didn't curse or anything like that, or said or brought out provocative women. He didn't really do that, but he still got over, and wrestling was still at its popularity. You got Ace, his sidekick, who was an asshole, who still got over with the fans. You had, guys like Macho Man, who was a heel, and he was a cool heel, and you had him as a face, and he was a cool face, but he didn't pander to kids and do all this other things. And we can go even further in. When Shawn Michaels was a cool face. He was still dancing with kids in the ring and doing things with kids and giving kids his sunglasses, but he was also appealing to the adults too. He wasn't just appealing to the kids. So to sit up here and say John Cena is doing something for the PG era, he's so exciting. And he's such this great man because he's appealing to the kids and stuff like that. It doesn't mean anything. Kids are like anything, ladies and gentlemen. Kids will like anything. I mean, when I was a kid, I was in love with the Power Rangers. Now I see how fake and phony that show is today. And I'm thinking, wow, I used to like this show as a kid. Kids would like the worst shit that you would ever see in your life. It doesn't matter. As long as they can enjoy it, they will enjoy anything you put on TV that's aimed for them. Anything with bright colors will get a kid attention. And that's what they do with John Cena. They put on bright colors for him so kids will want to watch him. You can still, just like they said, a lot of people are upset because they changed it from capital punishment to something else. That was a bad pay-per-view anyway. But to say that kids, parents is not going to like something that says capital punishment, it's like, you dope heads. It's not that. It's just that, so what? The parents that don't understand that it's a wrestling show and don't know what wrestling is are fucking morons. I'm sorry to say it. They are fucking morons. And they need to be dragged in the middle of the street and probably beat the hell out of. If they don't know what wrestling is. I'm sorry. If you live on planet Earth, you have to know what pro wrestling is. And if they say WWE capital punishment to see their favorite wrestler or sports entertainer, then you should probably know what they're talking about. If not, you're a fucking moron. But I'm not gonna get into that too much. But the point is that you can still be PG and be pretty good. Bret Hart was in the PG era. Shawn Michaels was in the PG era. Actually, Stone Cold Steve Austin as Stunning Steve Austin was in the PG era. Brian Pillman was PG. So I don't understand this insistent that John Cena is doing a good thing because he's pandering to kids and pandering to troops. Yes, I appreciate the troops and what they've done for us. I really do. I appreciate what the military has done and what they do. I mean, it's a brave thing to do to sign up to go to war. It's a brave thing to volunteer to do that. But you're not going to sit up here and convince me as a man that, what they're doing is so, what John Cena is doing is so great and it's so PG that he's doing it. It's bullshit. And you know that. Ironically, I am wearing the Superman shirt, but that's just because I'm a Superman fan, not a John Cena fan. Just sit up here and think about things that you're saying, guys, before you sit up here and say, well, John Cena is great for the PG era. Because, well, he's representing a terrible PG era then. He really is. If that's the case, then he's representing a terrible PG era who buy rates and pay-per-views are terrible, who ratings in the thing is terrible. You're basically looking at a terrible, terrible man. A terrible, terrible PG wrestler. And apparently the gimmick isn't working. He's getting booed in every arena he steps in, even though he's supposed to be your top babyface in the company and supposed to be the face of your company, and he's getting booed in every arena. I don't think that has ever happened for WWE before. And to sit up here and say that it's controversial, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's not controversial. It's sickening. It's annoying. He's annoying. That yes, people make the argument that people go and argue with him, go to argue with John Cena because he's a heel and they want because they want to boo this guy and it's selling tickets. No, I think they go there to see other wrestlers, but when they go out there, they're annoyed that they have to see a John Cena. That's what it is. They're annoyed that they have to see this Boy Scout wannabe who everybody know he's really not like that. He may be a nice guy, but he's really not like that, especially with the rumors of him banging some ring rat down in FCW. And if you don't believe me, go check out some of your stuff and you will see John Cena isn't this great Boy Scout that we make him out to be in WWE. At least when Stone Cold was a badass, we knew Stone Cold did do some things in his life. So this is your boy, the Problem Child, saying peace and just peace and just hopefully you guys are having a happy new year. But this is just a new starter video that I wanted to do to get out there to you guys, just so that way you know my opinion about John Cena, because I see a lot of people doing a lot of opinions on John Cena, but this is just me wanting to do it. Also, go check out my boy Kofi Lion on Twitter. If you have a Twitter, it's Kofi Kofi Lion. At his Twitter page, he does write some insightful things, and he does follow Monday Night Raw. Sometimes I talk to him on the phone when he's twittering. Just go check him out, and maybe we'll do a double video with him one day. You know, he has a lot of things to say. So this is it. I'm out. Peace.